Thank you, member. Recognizing Burnaby North.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And thank you to the member from Chilliwack for introducing the motion. Be it resolved that this House supports equal opportunity for all workers in British Columbia. I welcome the chance to talk about equal opportunity, or what we've more accurately come today to refer to as employment equity. It's a topic that's very close to my heart. Today, we have legislation that mandates employment equity in federally regulated workplaces. But it took us a long time to get here, and we learned some hard lessons along the way. The Canadian Human Rights Commission was established in 1977, and in the early days, I worked closely with Commission staff. I worked with them to document evidence of discrimination, and particularly systemic discrimination that was baked into the systems. We identified specific barriers. We developed measures to remove and to remediate barriers, and we worked hard to make workplace culture welcoming to newcomers. But mistakes were made. An example from the 1980s actually still haunts me. Women were recruited to apply for jobs in federal prisons, and that was a good idea. What was a bad idea was assigning one woman per shift. What was a bad idea was springing them on what was a dangerous work environment that still viewed women as too weak and emotional to have their backs. What was a bad idea was to do this before harassment policies were in place and before there was a commitment to enforce those harassment policies. I spent a lot of time in my career with the Public Service Alliance helping union locals, activists, and staff put good employment equity plans in place. I also spent a lot of my time cleaning up the messes that were created when ill-conceived employment equity was imposed on workplaces. Sound bites do not create equality of opportunity. Denouncing discrimination does not put an end to it. What moves us forward towards equality in the workplace is having a plan and then committing to implementing it. Employment equity, employment opportunity is a process. And community benefits agreements is an important part of that process. It's a process that opens the door to good, well-paying jobs to those groups who have been shut out in the past. Now, earlier this morning, the member from Kamloops North Thompson referred to community benefits agreements as having no value. Community benefits agreements are not discrimination. Community benefits agreements are one solution to discrimination. And the members opposite should know that. The members opposite have had 16 years to familiarize themselves with how employment equity works, 16 years to create employment equity for workers in BC, and instead, they squandered their power that they had to do that. In fact, they used their power to create even more barriers. Now, other speakers today will be giving some specific examples of that. I want to concentrate on the implications of having undermined union power. It is a fact, there is evidence that unionized workplaces tend to be more equitable workplaces. But what was one of the first things the former government did? They gutted 3 pieces of legislation. It made it harder for workers to join unions, harder to get justice when they were the victims of favoritism at work, harder to get compensation if they were disabled at work. And yet they come here today to try to school us about what is equal and what is not equal. Madam Speaker, equal opportunities for working people is hard work. It takes courage and it takes an investment in people. It's about ensuring that every working family can live their best lives, regardless of skin color, gender, or disability. Employment opportunity is not a rhetorical
Thank you,
football
member.
to be kicked around in the game of political partisanship.
Thank you, member.
Thank you.